Say now you I want to feel. Anywhere that I be going, baby make you ginger me, and I go ginger you. I know that you're feeling me, and I be feeling you. Oh, baby make you ginger me, and I go ginger you. I know that you're feeling me.
Hey, thanks for coming to check out today's video. Today's video is brought to you by Eayon Hair. So thank you so much, Eayon, for sending over these crochet braids. So the hair that I have today is their crochet braids with double drawn Burmese hair curls, and this is in color 99J. Here's the braid pattern. This is the braid pattern that I've been using most frequently for my middle part crochets. If you want to have a really well-defined middle part and a good way to pull your hair up, this is the perfect braid pattern for you. I'm not going to show the whole entire braid pattern breakdown, but I am going to show the top how to achieve the individual look for the middle part. So you basically just do 4 to 5 box braids with braids that are braided halfway down. Then you go ahead and connect them into a cornrow. But the cornrow you connect them into is not the one closest to the middle part, it's the second one down, because you want to have more of a seamless flat install. So you want to skip over the braid right next to the box braids and do it one braid down. So that's what you're seeing. And then I leave the front 2 box braids open and just do an individual feed-in type of look for that part. So I'm going to show you how I install the braids. I literally just put the loop through the crochet through my cornrow, pull the end of the braid through the loop, and tighten it onto my own cornrow. So it's just that simple. I love these braids because they don't actually have all the hair going on all down the braid. A lot of these human hair crochet braids have the hair going, you know, all the way down the box braid, and it makes it a little more complicated to install because there's a lot of hair to deal with, like loose curly hair to deal with. This is pretty nice because it's just the curls at the end of the braid, so it does have a much cleaner, neater end result, which, if that's the look you're going for, is really nice and like a change of pace from what I'm used to. So I highly recommend these braids. They're very lightweight and very nicely braided. Like the braid is nice and tight. So I know for a fact these braids will last you for a long time. Several installs. In fact, when I took this hair out, I made sure to be really careful when I took the braids out, because I know I will be able to reuse this hair. And this hair is a great investment because you will be able to wear this multiple times and multiple installs. Now, since my braids are really large in the back, I made sure that I installed my crochets on either side of each braid. So instead of taking my crochet and looping it all the way through underneath the cornrow and putting it all the way through, I literally just looped it through a little bit of each cornrow and made sure that I have crochets on the left side of the cornrow and on the right side of the cornrow, so that I just got enough density, because I didn't feel like doing a whole bunch of cornrows in the back of my head. I just wanted to make my life a little easier and just a faster install. So that's a good technique if you want to do larger braids in the back. Just make sure you're installing hair on either side of your cornrow and you should be just fine. And as for these side cornrows, I made sure to do more than I normally do. I typically will only do 2 cornrows on either side, but I decided to do 3 because I looked at the size of these box braids, and they are very thin. So when you have thinner box braids, crochet braids, you want to make sure that your cornrows are smaller in order to get a nice full clean end result. And I did the bricklaying method here, so wherever I put a braid on that first braid, I put it in the opposite area on this second braid, and just continue to do that all the way up to the top. And once you get to that last cornrow, you're going to go ahead and put a box braid in between each of the individual you know, boxes that are above it. So wherever you see a box, you're just going to go in between and place a crochet braid right there, and then you're going to go up to the individual boxes and just place each you know, place one braid, crochet braid, into each box. And you can sort of use your own discernment. If you see any gaps or spaces that need to be filled in, just go ahead and add yourself a braid in there, because you definitely don't want any empty spaces. You want to make sure it looks nice and full, and that, you know, no braids are just glaringly gaping. Now, I did add a little bit of edge control onto my hair because I want my hair to stay inside this braid when I crochet through the braid. Now again, I did say these braids are really well made and they're really tight. So this part was a little difficult to get my hair through the box braid, but I definitely made it work. But if I were to do it again, I may not necessarily do one where I had to feed my hair into the braid. It was a little difficult and I feel like it kind of put a little stress on my own hair. So next time I do this, I probably would just combine this front box braid into one of the cornrows and not bother with, you know, having to feed it through, because these braids were braided very, very tight and it was a little difficult to do this part. So now that the install is complete, my makeup is done. I got my little sweater on. I love these braids. I'm really, really happy with how these braids came out. They look very, very natural. And I'm getting so good at this braid pattern. It really didn't take me long to achieve. And the install didn't take long at all. So I highly recommend these braids and this style if you want to get you some box braids without all the cost and without all the time spent at the salon. This is all I had left. I did have 3 packs. Each pack comes with 40 braids. So I installed, what, 40 times 3 is 80, is 120. So I installed a little less than 120 braids. Love how they turned out. I will leave links down below. And yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Do one thing for me: share this video, share it with a friend, share it with a crochet lover, share this video with your mama. Peace.